There's power in being able to maintain inner peace in a divided, chaotic world, personal power and manifestation power. And if you're not aware of the impact of your energy when you post or engage online, you could lose followers, lose friends, piss off family, or damage your reputation, or even the reputation of your business. So today, I'm going to show you how to channel your rage instead of react, and how to transmute your energy into influence, and how to turn calm confidence into the ultimate manifestation power. Welcome to Hexotica, the place for creative misfits and manifesting witches who are building wildly self-reliant lives through online businesses. I'm your host, Christine Rice, and this is episode 14. Hello, lovely guts, and welcome back to Hexotica. I hope that you had a lovely week last week. I hope that you made the money that you were hoping to make. And if you didn't, that you were able to say no to the people or places or whatever invites you had that were taking you away from your big dream. Because we cannot make our big dream happen if we're not willing to make some sacrifices, if we're not willing to commit to it. So it's so important to be able to have those boundaries and to only say yes to the things that are helping us with our vision, especially when we're in the beginning phases, when we're just trying to get things off the ground and make that income level that we want to reach, right? I spent my weekend moving over all my email sequences from my old operating system to go high level. So I was totally geeking out. I am spending weekends doing that now because the end of October is so full of so many parties and Halloween events that I know I'm going to be super busy. It's like goth celebration month, in case you're not aware. It's our month to shine, right? If you're a goth, you know what I mean. I hope you've got your Halloween costume all chosen, all worked out. I haven't a clue what I'm going to wear yet, but I'm looking forward to all the events that I've been invited to. So today we're going to be talking about that 1% side of making our big dreams happen, which is the metaphysical, unexplained, non-scientific area of manifestation. So I'm talking about this because, as you may know, with all the shit that's been going down in the US, it can be very hard to show up online these days. It can be hard to show up with an energy that is not going to add to the chaos, right? We want to show up with the energy that's going to make the most positive impact, and that is going to be aligned to our vision and our goals, right? And that can be really difficult when everybody is ranting and shouting and arguing and getting online just to vent sometimes. And it can really, really affect your mood and your nervous system if you're not careful. So before I get into it, I just want to talk about one really quick thing that I do lately to make sure that my energy is in check. And that is, I will not open up my laptop or my phone or my social media if I am in a bad mood, or if I'm angry about politics, or if I am just trying to seek out information on what that orange mango turd has done lately, right? I think it's really important to stay away from the digital social media platforms and forums if we're not going to be showing up with the energy of helping people and of making an impact for the greater good. And we're doing something that is above us, right? So that's kind of what today's podcast is about. It's about how to show up in a way that is more aligned with your vision. Because knowing how to transmute negative energy into positive energy, especially online in social media communities, it's the difference from being a part of the problem or being part of the solution. And if you're not aware of that impact that your energy is having when you engage online, it can really negatively impact your body, your mind, your relationships with your friends and family, and definitely with your business. So this is a really important step here to learn. Over 8 years, when I was running my e-commerce brand, and the 9 years that followed that when I was managing social media for online education companies, I've seen firsthand just how much people's energy, their digital energy, can make or break their success, right? I've watched creators go viral for all the wrong reasons. I've watched them burn out under backlash. And I've seen some people lose everything because they reacted rather than reflected. And I've also seen the opposite. Badass witches who learned how to stay centered, use psychology wisely, responded calmly, and were able to magnetize opportunities simply by mastering their energetic presence online. And that's why I'm talking about this, because I've lived both sides. I've lived the impulsive, reactive version of me who burned bridges in 2016, and the grounded creator who now uses emotional regulation and persuasion psychology as tools for manifestation. So let's first of all talk about, what does transmute energy mean? To transmute energy means to consciously change the emotional or energetic state that we're in, especially when it's negative. And we want to change it into something constructive, creative, or high vibrational, right? So that looks like, in practice, emotionally, it might look like turning anger into motivation, turning jealousy into inspiration, turning fear into clarity. Spiritually, it might look like shifting your vibration from resentment or defensiveness or rage to compassion, curiosity, and purpose. And on a practical level, instead of firing off a reactive post, you're going to pause, you're going to breathe, and you're going to create something meaningful. A story, a teaching, or a message that uplifts rather than attacks or adds to the noise, right? So it comes from both alchemy, the transformation of base material into gold, and psychology, the emotional regulation and reframing. So in essence, you're doing inner alchemy. You're using your awareness, your breath, and your intention to transform raw, chaotic emotions that you may be having or that people online have into power that serves you and to others. Understanding how to transmute energy, this can literally change your life. Because if you think about it, what's better for manifesting the life that you want, right? Adding to the divisive and negative and, the crap that's happening online, all the mud fighting, or staying calm and praying and sending compassion for everyone who's feeling emotional pain and anger right now. We gain strength when we withhold our instinctive reactions, or we keep them, at least private within our private circles, but we express what we believe is for only humanity's highest good and for our own good. And this energy radiates from every post that we create online. It ripples out online through people and into the world. It has consequences. And I learned this the hard way. So I'm going to tell you a personal story now that's going to help illustrate what it's like to not know how to transmute energy and to know how to do it, and how this can affect your manifestation abilities, right? So before I understood the power of energy transmutation, I really struggled to feel inner peace. I struggled to manifest money. I even struggled to lose weight. Because when you hold on to anger, or you're trying to manage it or minimize it, it's just going to come out in acts of subconscious self-sabotage. So you'll find it really difficult to impossible to achieve your goals when your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are not working together, right? So for example, you'll choose to watch the Be in Apartment 23 again rather than make that YouTube video for your YouTube channel dreams. Or you'll guzzle down a bottle of Shiraz the night before you're going to hit the gym. Everything's going to feel uphill. It's going to feel like you're taking 3 steps forward and 2 steps back. And what's going to happen though, once you learn how to transmute energy, once you learn how to get your subconscious thoughts and emotions aligned with your conscious thoughts and emotions, things are just going to feel so much more effortless. They're going to feel aligned as fuck, right? And this has been a really long journey for me personally. It starts back in 2016, where in the US, when all the shit was going down in my home country, which is where I'm from before I moved to Melbourne, Australia 25 years ago, everything got really crazy online with Trump running for the first presidency run, his first campaign, right? And I remember feeling so much rage. I mean, that was a really difficult year for me personally too, but I just reacted. I didn't know how to feel my outrage within my body, right? Because feeling emotion and knowing that you're feeling an emotion are two different things. You can't release emotion intellectually or just vent it out, right? Like it might feel good in the moment, but you're not actually releasing your emotions if you're just wah, getting online, right? Because emotion is held inside the body, and emotions are physical things. We're not taught that though, right? We're taught that it's all in our heads, but that's bullshit. So I did not know what to do with my anger when those idiots started coming out that couldn't see that Trump was a clinical narcissist and a hateful POS, right? Or the chemtrail conspiracy theorist or the QAnon digital cult. I didn't know what to do. I was so angry at things that were happening online. So I would just post anything according to my whims. And I pissed off a lot of people. I lost many friends. I lost acquaintances. And I cut ties with family. And I had that mindset that a lot of people have still today, and I see it so often online, where if we can't agree on these very basic things, then just get the fuck out and I don't want to have anything to do with you, right? And that is what we may need to do sometimes, right? There are some people where logic or reason or all the pleading in the world, they're not going to change. The bias is so deep that you're just going to waste energy trying to change people's minds. And so getting away from them is maybe all that we can do, right? It's all that we have the energy for. We just say, fuck that guy. And we just flame towards bridges with people who once held entire chapters of our lives. But these days, I don't want to agree to disagree anymore. I want to persuade. I want to influence. I want to understand why people think the way they do and why they hold the values that are so different from my own. And I want to know whether to challenge them or accept them just as they are, and whether that's in there, whether they're in a digital cult or they're just lost in confusion, fear, or uncertainty, right? The thing is, I just am curious. I come to people who are really angry and crazy online with a completely different energy than I used to. Rather than react to what they're saying, rather than to just feel angry about it or immediately disagree, I observe. I'm unflappable. I'm calm. I'm like a reverse stick of dynamite. Take all that energy and I just gotta qualm it. When negative energy comes my way, I now know how to own it, feel it, and re-fucking direct it. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. How to show up online where we're not just being reactive, we are being curious, and we're showing up with a different kind of energy that leaves us feeling a little bit less drained after we do our marketing for our online businesses or interact with people. And when we have more of that energy, we have more power to be able to manifest, right? Because you need to have that gratitude and that positivity behind the manifestation intentions. So that's kind of how it all ties together. When you know how to transmute energy, you know how to turn what the fuck into clarity, influence, and action. And the good news is here that all it takes is study and practice, both intellectually and in an embodied way. So, for example, we're learning how thoughts and emotions play out in our nervous system. And then we're using physical practices like meditation or somatic exercises to feel our emotions in our bodies. A lot of people won't tell you, but learning how to regulate your nervous system is, I think it's like one of the most critical business skills that you can have if you want to be successful. But it's also a skill that is super important for manifestation for that same reason. So many things can be studied, right? Psychological heuristics can be studied. Those are the behavioral patterns that people have. These are formulas that we can learn in order to persuade people with our words when we do our marketing online. We can learn how to see people with the way that they think and behave by recognizing their patterns. And these patterns can be understood and studied. So all of this information is accessible. And the more that you learned, the more power you're going to hold on to every time you get online and every time you interact and every time you do your marketing. You are a very powerful being, and you're very capable of powerful influence, which means that you also have a choice. Every time you log on, you can add fuel to the fire, or you can be the person who quietly drops a different kind of kindling, like curiosity or a question or a story or a calm fact. So an example of this is whenever you see people on social media who drop into a thread with something that just resonates with so many people, like the majority of the readers and people that see that thread, and everybody reacts, they reply, and sometimes people just outright steal it and they reshare it, elsewhere. You see that all the time. That's often when someone who just really gets the zeitgeist of the issue and is able to come into the conversation with a calm energy that just immediately resonates with people. And they don't just get the issue either. They are able to give back to people what people are longing to hear and what they are literally subconsciously seeking when they're popping online looking at their phones late at night, right? We're all looking for that dopamine hit, but also connection. And people who understand that and understand the heuristics behind behavior are able to contribute to these ugly, ugly conversations that are happening online in ways that are for the greater good. They give that different perspective. They give people a different frame. Sometimes it's even just something funny, right? They're able to give people the feelings that they're often not able to give to themselves. People don't give themselves permission to feel these feelings. And sometimes these people that get on and make these amazing comments or reflect on a conversation in a way that is just so unique, these are the people that have influence. And that's the kind of influence that I'm talking about. And in order to do that, it means not reacting. It means being able to read the post and have a calm reaction to it, which adds to the greater good. And that's what I'm getting at here. So if you want to manifest the life that you crave, then start treating your online energy like sacred work. Manifestation isn't magic without practice, right? So each day when we engage with the world online, we have this amazing gift of being able to practice co-creating the reality that we'd prefer to see instead of the fucked up reality we'd rather not have to see. We have the privilege of digital agency. We can either choose to abuse that with our outrage and reaction, or we can reach out to people and make their day either better or worse. Only one choice will ripple out into the world with our small but significant act of intentional impact, right? So practice making everyone's day awesome. Start with one deliberate post, one private message, one small act of restraint that becomes a habit. Try it out with your haters too. See what changes you can create in angry, unhappy people. So here's a simple but powerful 5-step practice to transmute negative energy into positive energy online. If you're tired of the mud fight, then try this simple ritual before you post something. Number 1, when you feel anger coming on, take 3 breaths to center yourself. Number 2, name the feeling honestly. What exactly are you feeling? Number 3, locate where in your body you're feeling this emotion. If you've never done this before, you may think it's odd to place an emotion in your body, but emotions absolutely have different places in our bodies where they reside. Number 4, we ask, is this going to harm or is this going to heal people? Will this open a mind or will it shut a mind? If the honest answer is harm, then tuck it away or save it for a private circle where you and your BFFs can cackle at it together. And number 5, write your message as if the person most resistant to you is standing right in front of you, as if you can smell their shampoo and hear their breath. What would you say then? The chances are that version will move people more and cost you less. Persuasion isn't about shoving your truth onto someone else, right? It's about learning the language they hear, meeting them where they are, and inviting them gently to walk a little closer to your side of seeing things. The key word here is inviting. This is how you can not only transmute negative energy into positive energy, but literally help heal people with your words and good intentions. In this way, energy transmutation is the ability to translate your values into something someone else can understand without feeling attacked. We don't have to agree on everything to change the world, right? We just have to be brave enough to choose influence over outrage, curiosity over certainty, and connection over annihilation of our enemies. And that's how movements are born. And that's how lives, including yours, get remade through influence and persuasion. Because you're no longer wrecking your nervous system when you go online and you just post whatever willy-nilly, right? You're staying conscious of your energetic interactions and the emotions that you are experiencing and that you are creating. And this will help you stay positive online, able to amplify your gratitude for the lessons that you're learning in life, and thus maintain your manifestation power. It's a win-win way to live in a fucked up world. Okay, so lovely guts, I hope that has helped you understand what energy transmutation is. And if you have a creative business or you're a content creator, it will help you show up online in a way where you're making an impact with the energy that you want to have, and you're not taking on the negative energy that you come across in a way that impacts your nervous system and diminishes your ability to manifest what you want in life. And if you'd like to learn more ways to manifest money and abundance into your life, then I've got a special gift for you. Sign up to my Money Manifesting Witchcraft limited 10 email newsletter sequence. This is a special themed newsletter that'll help you get clarity on what it is that you want in your life, and it will help you start a daily manifesting ritual to amp up your spiritual alignment and power. So you can get that by going to money-manifesting-witchcraft.hexotica.link. I'll leave the link in the show notes below. So thank you so much for watching today, or listening to the podcast, or watching on YouTube, wherever you might be consuming this. Join me again next week, where we're going to go into details about manifesting rituals. I'm going to share with you 4 specific law of attraction manifesting rituals that have massively increased my ability to speed things up and to help me manifest money with my business and in my life. These will blow you out of the water. It's been a big spiritual awakening year for me, and I want to share what's happened in detail next week. So if you have a business or you're a content creator, tune in again, because these things are going to help amplify your ability to grow your audience, to make more money, and to live the life of your dreams. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye.